Right, we'll be looking at the new Maral 4X from Browning. It's a lovely straight pull, very fast action straight pull. It's their new improved Maral, and there's a couple of pointers we want to look at when we get into the test. But it's a nice compact, it's 42.5 inches length. You've got a 22-inch barrel here in 308 caliber, making it very, very nice to handle. And it only weighs 3.8 pounds, again in 308. So let's look at the salient features. The barrel, as we said, is 22 inches. It's fluted here, quite shallow fluting, but that does reduce the weight on the barrel. And you have a very, very nice, tough, matte black finish to it as well. On the muzzle, you've got an interesting feature here. You unscrew the muzzle cover, which is threaded 14x1 metric. So you have options. You can fit a muzzle brake, you can fit a silencer or sound moderator, right, or you have a spigot section here with a little flange where you can actually fit open sights, because you have options when you actually order a Maral 4X. You can have 3 sighting options. You can have open sights, you can have a Batu sight for short range, or you can actually have a red dot sight which actually fit here on the scope mount on top of the barrel. Looking at the action, it's an aluminium receiver action here, which is a black anodized, which is very, very nice. And the bolt is a reciprocating or turn screw rotating head to the bolt system. So if you look in with the magazine out, so I've taken it out, when you pull the bolt back, you can actually see the lugs there, which when the bolt is forward, it actually locks by reciprocating action and locks very, very tightly into the abutments at the end of the chamber in the barrel. And it gives a very, very strong action. And one of the reasons I like the Maral, I'm a little bit dicey about straight pulls, but the Maral has an enclosed bolt system, because all the bolt is actually encapsulated within the receiver area. You don't have a separate receiver which comes out the back. I like that. It feels a lot safer to me. The bolt itself has been improved. You've got 2 new bronze roller bearings here, so it's very, very smooth. It's guided very nicely, and as you can see, it's incredibly easy to use. The bolt handle is short, little dog-legged, and you have a choice. I think there's 5 different bolt handles you can choose. It comes standard with the rounded bolt knob here on the end. But again, very, very nice to use. Trigger is a 2-stage trigger, and you have a very, very light first take up and then a release after that, and we'll be testing that later on. The safety, or they call it a cocking system here, is very, very nice. We'll put the magazine in, which actually we'll talk about the magazine now. Actually, the magazine is detachable. It fits in very easily. You actually load it front and then back, and then you release with a little lever here just in front of the trigger guard. And when the magazine's in, it's actually quite well hidden, so you're not going to accidentally knock the magazine out. It's a 4-shot magazine, so 4 and 1 in the barrel, and that's in 308. And on the last shot, the follower comes up and it actually will keep the bolt open like such, which is a nice indication that you've run out your 4 shots. So, as we said, the decocker at the end, or the safety, in the down position, that is safe. So the trigger is actually the cocking hammer and the spring are decocked, so there's no tension on it. And when you want to fire, push up, the small button at the top comes, click, and you fire. If you're loaded and you want to decock, so you're loaded and you're sitting in a hide or you're out stalking and you're going to shoot off sticks, push the button at the top, slides down, and now it's totally safe. But you can still operate the bolt if you wish to. Let's just step forward. So that really, in a nutshell, is the Maral. I mean, this comes with grade 2 listed walnut as standard, but you can go up to grade 4 if you want to. There's 2 different styles. This is the ambidextrous, sort of more of a classic type style with the lower comb, but you do get the Bavarian option, which has like a Bavarian cheek piece, or the hog's back, which I actually quite like, but this is, for me, is very, very nice. I just want to talk a little bit about the actual operation on this. It's got a servo bolt system, so what you'll see, I'll take the magazine out again. When you cock it back, that's now under tension. A lot of straight pulls, you have to push it forward manually, but this, you're actually under tension and it flings back automatically, so it makes it one of the fastest straight pulls in the market. That's because if you take the fore end off, here there are 2 coiled springs, or they call them servos. So when you pull the hammer back, it's a bit like a tape measure, it reels out, so it's under tension. So your bolt is under tension, so it wants to go forward. So once you've let go, the springs reciprocate back into their housing. It's a very simple system, very safe, and we're now going to take it out in the range and shoot some factory, and then we'll shoot off sticks and freehand to see how it shoots. Well, that's a fantastic start on the Maral, Browning Maral 4X. We're sighting at 100 yards. That's bore sighted. We had 4 shots in quick succession, just above the target. And look at that, that's 3 shots in ½ inch and 1 off, which is probably me pulling it. Come down 3 shots after we've zeroed in 100 yards with Remington factory. That's a 1/4 inch group. I mean, if the rest of the day is going to be like this, it's going to be fantastic. Let's hope and pray. Right, well, we sighted the Maral in and we shot some nice groups. I'm now going to try a series of factory ammunition for it. And first up are the really nice, well-made RWS DK ammunition. It's a 165 grain. I've got to admit, I like the way that bolt operates. That's very, very nice, actually. So let's crack on 100 yards and do a 3-shot group and see how it performs. Yeah, 2.493. They're always a little bit lower, the old DK. That's 22-inch barrel. Oh my god, let's go for the same hole. 2497. Well, that's going to be a 3/4 inch group. I tell you what, this is going to be a good day. That is shooting really well. About 2.5 by the looks of it. Right, let's crack on to the next load. Right, well, the next load is 150 grain Hornady SST. That's a pretty standard weight 308. So this is more for your deer stalking rather than wild boar, although you can use it. I like the way that the bolt stays open on the last shot as well, and it's just a little pull back and it's straight forward. You know, I've never been an advocate of straight pull rifles, but I tell you what, this Maral is actually growing on me. I'm being totally honest with you, I quite like it. Right, here we go. Anyway, here's the Hornadays. These should be a lot faster, as we know. Oh yeah, 2909. That is really stepping out, isn't it? Crikey. And that's bang in the centre. 2911. Oh, it's slightly high, I think I pulled that. And that was 2926. And that is, I think that's just, yeah, that's an inch group. Oh, that's very impressive. Quite hard. That last shot, you probably noticed that's slightly sticky, so those are quite up there on the velocity. Okay, let's crack on with another load. Well, now we're going to try a lead-free round. It's the new Hornady Outfitter. It's a 165 grain CX bullet, which is a new incarnation of the GMX, and it's got a nickel washed brass case to make it feed smoother, which is, I don't think the Maral needs that, but let's just have a look. No, very smooth. 2607. Again, dead centre, crikey. And I say, recoil on this is very straight in line. It's hardly anything. 308 off the bench. You normally get a little bit there. That's the typical lead free. One on. Yeah, that's an inch group. And that was very, very nice. And that's 2608. Let's write that down quickly. 2608. So quite good velocity and an inch group, 100 yards for lead free. You know, what's not to like, to be honest with you. Next we've got the Seiko Super hammerhead. This is another one of my favourite, I like the 123 grain game heads, but this is a 150 grain hammerhead. This normally gives quite good velocity, and accuracies are normally very predictable on this. So let's have a look. Put this around so you can see it. Yeah, I mean that trigger's very precise as well. 2746. So That's a nice blend of velocity and absolutely smack in the centre, that is. .2801. And last shot. Nice. That's through the same hole. 2767. 2767, and that is, yeah, just under an inch again. Blimey, it's going very well. Well, this is an interesting lead-free round. This is the new Zero from Gecko, and it's a 136 grain bullet, which is a nice compromise between a 125 and a 150 grain you normally get in the 308. It's got a very nice hollow point or sort of dimpled met plat, and I'll be using these in my old Tika 55 or LSA 55 I've had since I was 17. They shot really well, so let's see if we can get the same results with the Maral. I want you to see what the velocities are like as well, actually. Right, here we go, 100 yards, 3-shot group. What have we got there? Where 2845. That's very, very nice. Also, the kite optics. I tell you what, these are really clear. I love the little dot in the centre. It's an uncomplicated reticule. That's 2871. Yeah, there's so many scopes in the market. You can tend to forget. I mean, these kite. I mean, it's a perfect companion to this Maral. That last shot, and hold open the last shot. That's probably just over an inch. I'll tell you what, that is very good for lead-free these days. I think that's very good, and we've let the barrel cool down. So, okay, that's not bad though, Zero. I think that's very good. We'll crack on to the next one. Okay, next is another good old stalwart. It's the old Winchester Extreme Tip. That's a very, very large, as they say, extreme tip or tip to the met flap of the bullet. They expand very, very well. It's a 150 grain bullet, and these are just a good, reasonably priced and accurate round I've found in most of the test rifles we've been shooting recently. So let's crack on, see how they shoot. Yeah, I mean, that trigger's lovely, and it's a slight 2-stage, very positive take up, and then quick release. That's an inch high. I'm really getting to like this. That's on the ball. Yeah, about an inch, just over the inch on that. So that's, I mean, you know, for a factory gun, they do say, Browning do say the Maral 4X is an MOA gun, and we're proving it today. It is, and that's factory. Right, so if you're going after boar or larger species deer and you want a slightly heavier weight bullet, then the Barnes TTSX 168 is a very, very good bullet to have, and in the Vortex ammunition is a consistent performer, definitely. So we'll shoot these over the chronograph and have a look. 2665, as expected. I mean, it's sensible to have. Oh, that's bang in the centre. Look at that, lovely. So it's let's say, oh wow, this is, that's touching it. Come on, Bruce, don't mess it up. That was 2655. I'm going to look at the group in a moment. 2655. I'm just hoping that's going to be, whoa, lovely. That's a 1/2 inch group with lead-free Barnes. One of the best lead-free ammunition on the market, definitely. Right, and then finally with the factory, we've got Gecko, which is a reasonably priced ammunition. It's the express load with the tip, red tip on it, and it's 165 grain bullets. That's a good all-rounder for, you know, for boar in thick cover, and for red or rope, anything really, to be honest with you. So let's see. This will conclude the factory shoot today. Doobie-doo, 2593. I say on the Maral 4X, they've improved the bolt operation. It's guided, and you've got these 2 phosphor bronze roller bearings here as well, and you can really feel that. It's very, very smooth to shoot. Go. And you know, we've been shooting on this factory now. It's getting a little bit warmer. It's very, very hot today as well, and it hasn't missed a beat. Other than those very, very fast SSTs, we had one which is a little bit sticky, and that with the Gecko that looks like one hole, literally one enlarged hole. I mean, for factory ammo, that's very impressive, isn't it? Very good. Oh, the factory shot well. Let's shoot off some sticks now. Right, well, it's 75 yards now. I've loaded up with 4 shots of Gecko, and we're going to see how the shoots off sticks at the road target. Oh, lovely. I was aiming for the heart, and they've all gone inch and a half, a bit over from the heart, as fast as I could put it. That's pretty impressive from the Maral 4X. Right, we're down at 50 yards now. I'm going to shoot a wild boar target, and we're shooting freehand like you would on a driven game hunt. Well, that's straight in the heart, so I'm pleased with that.